everything!
Incoming! Gotcha! Hey! Yeah! Cha! Ha! Easy money. Finished?
Almost!
Finished, huh? What did you think?
Everyone took it very serious.
Of course they did. They have the chance to be picked as the new Tianshu, so you can bet they're putting their best foot forward. And keep in mind, whoever gets in has to execute their plan as written. Nobody wants to have any regrets. That's for me to know and you to find out. We can talk more. We'll see the candidates now. Let's do one at a time. Start with Chenwei.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh? So you two are the assessment officers, are you? I had assumed that given the great import of this situation, Lady Ningguang would perhaps be assessing us in person. I certainly hadn't imagined I'd be seeing two entirely unfamiliar faces. I trust you've read through my manifesto? I'd be more than happy to clarify any details you found difficult to grasp. It was written with an expert audience in mind.
Mind your tongue!
Relax. It wasn't intended as a personal slight against anyone in particular. I was simply stating a fact. Cloud Retainer? You know this Adeptus? Oh, yes, I remember now. You must be the traveler that people are constantly talking about. With your sterling reputation, you must have a respectable level of erudition. Perhaps you will be able to understand the concepts I have put forward. Yeah, although I shouldn't get my hopes up.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes. Please, introduce yourself.
I'm, Mingbo. I work in the Ministry of Civil Affairs. I've worked there for, 9 years, 5 months, and 3 days. In that time, I've handled, 2,347 cases. I have 12 active cases at the moment. They should be concluded in, 16 days? My current work is related to urban planning, and I'm also responsible for, auditing the accounts. To be more precise, there are 3 parts to the accounts, namely...
Is it just Paimon, or is he not very good at public speaking?
You know what? Let's leave the self-introduction there and move on to some questions.
Oh, oh.
Hello. Not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little nervous. What would you like to know? You're here to assess me, so ask away and I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability.
Your manifesto is very wide in its scope, but you don't seem to be personally involved in many of the specific fields. How can you be sure that you have the ability to put your plan into action?
Very fair question. I completely understand where you're coming from, but I'm confident in my plan. I've visited many different places, talked to lots of people with far more expertise than myself, and my manifesto is the conclusion of these efforts. Of course, 2 different problems can be interconnected in very complicated ways, and you might reach 2 very contradictory conclusions depending on which one you're focusing on. What I've tried to do is strike a balance. In other words, present an optimal solution to all the problems as a whole.
How do you plan to determine whether you are right or wrong about your proposed solution being the optimal one?
A great question. Well, I'd start by having my colleagues and the secretaries of the Yuehai Pavilion evaluate any proposals before implementation. Post-implementation, it would all come down to the results. If it turned out that my judgment was to blame for poor results, I would take responsibility.
Nice answer. All right, next.
He seems like a great guy. Everything he said was thoughtful and logical, and he was just a pleasure to listen.
Here's my take on what we just learned. As you saw, Qianwei is highly knowledgeable. He proposes many excellent ideas in his manifesto which effectively target the big issues. But he is very proud and incredibly stubborn. He doesn't care much about other people's feelings. Mingguo's plan is more thorough and more measured, but he and Qianwei are otherwise polar opposites. Mingguo is not very articulate and comes across as very timid in conversation.
Perfect summary. Paimon couldn't agree more.
Last but not least, Zhi. His manifesto is full of pertinent details, his methodology is sound, and his proposals cover a broad range of fields, which is quite a rare feat. The depth he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking work. But what really interests me is that many of his views happen to coincide with Uncle Tien's. Having someone like Zhi take the position would certainly put Uncle Tien's mind at rest.
Great.
We'll see. Let's go back and report to Uncle Tien. Take it easy. Take it easy.
Squall and Fury.
I see. Then it's more or less as I anticipated.
All right. Then let me ask this. The ideas in Zhi's manifesto are very similar to your own.
Oh, I didn't want to say anything when I gave you the list of candidates, for fear of affecting your judgment. But I can tell you now, those 3 candidates have all studied under me in the past. It's only natural that they share some similarities with me. But Qianwei went on to focus on his business, and Mingguo has always been occupied with his work at the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Of all of them, Zhi was with me for the longest duration.
Whoa. So how did you get to know them all, Uncle Tien?
Qianwei was referred to me by an old friend. We first met while fishing. Gradually, as we got to know each other, Zhi came from a poor family, and his parents died when he was very young. But he was a gifted student and a fast learner. He reminded me of a younger version of myself, so I started out giving him a few words of advice when we were out fishing and noticed how quickly he got on. Quite. And now, all of a sudden, he's grown into a mature young... The young are growing up, and I am growing old.
I don't know, Uncle Tien. You still...
Oh, you. There's really no need to console me.
Sounds like you sure love fishing, Uncle Tien.
Ooh, there's nothing quite like fishing to pass the time.
Fresh fish soup.
Doesn't it? Also, some time ago, when we've been fishing recently, Zhi always brings some extra ingredients he prepared in advance. That flavor makes for a fond memory.
Oh, can Paimon come next time too? Paimon really wants to try.
Let's get back to the matter at hand. Uncle Tien, we've reported back. Do you have a verdict?
Mm-hmm. I appointed you as the assessment officer, and I trust your judgment. Had you not asked me why Zhi's ideas were so similar to mine, I was not going to mention my history with any of them. This decision must be guided by what is fair and right. Please disregard all other considerations, and remember, you must be thorough.
Understood. Come on, let's go talk.
Bye-bye, Uncle Tian. So, his manifesto was written.
Easy.
Huh?
No, nothing like that. The assessment itself is complete. But let me give you a word of advice. Things are not always as they appear. The biggest no-no in intelligence work is to only get information from the person of interest themselves. The truth is almost always hidden beneath many layers of deception. You have to get information through many different channels. For example, Wenyuan, Shanghua.
Yes?
Lady Yelan, what are your orders?
Ugh! Who are they? Where did they come from?
Did they scare you? These two are Wenyuan and Shanghua. They work for me. As my trusted assistants, they are always standing guard nearby. They also perform various assignments as required. Shanghua is a business expert who gets his information by trading.
That meathead must have been out there on sea surveillance for some time now. Is he all right? I seem to remember that he can't swim.
Nothing can take that guy down.
Shanghua, visit all the commerce guilds and look into Qianwei's background. Wenyuan, go to the Ministry of Civil Affairs and look through Mingbo's work files.
Yes, ma'am.
So what about Juri?
Juri, well, obviously as the most promising candidate, we will be investigating him ourselves. Let's go to the docks first. Lots of people passing through there.
If we're looking for information, why don't we try talking to Bulai? The owner, he does business at the North Wharf. Maybe he has some news for us.
That's actually not a bad idea. Let's go and ask him.
Look, your asking price for this batch is just too high. I can't buy in at this price. How am I supposed to turn a profit?
Come on, hear me out. I'm telling you, this is the single best batch of Sunsetias ever. You won't find anyone who disputes that. I accidentally dropped one into a well, and
Even so...
All right. I'll let you in on a little secret. The boss of Second Life also wants to buy from me, but I haven't responded yet. If you won't take him, I'll just have to partner with them instead. And neither of us wants that.
Okay, well, when you put it that way, I'll... Oh, what are you doing here? And to be clear, these Sunsetias are mine. I got to them first. Don't get any ideas.
Actually, we want to ask you about a guy called Juri. Have you heard of him before?
Juri? Yeah, I've heard a story about him. They say he was born into poverty. His parents died when he was young, and he was treated cruelly by the local community. One of his neighbors was terribly rude to him all the time, but Juri never retaliated. And when his neighbor went bankrupt, he even helped support the family. He returned cruelty with kindness, injustice with peace offerings.
Oh, he sounds like a decent man. We can finally breathe a sigh of relief.
Why are you asking about him anyway? You aren't looking for a brand ambassador too, are you? Well then, in that case, the higher bidder takes the... Ah, that's Juri right over there. Why don't we go and talk to him?
Where?
It's him, all right. Looks like he's chatting with Lin Long. Come on, let's follow them and listen in. Try not to let him see you. We want this...
I'll just go and fetch an employment contract. And hey, don't try and cut me out of this.
I understand. Let's walk and talk.
What's the hurry? Don't get too close, or he'll see you. Try not to let him see you.
I understand. Let's walk and talk. So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
The truth is, an old friend of mine, who likes to have a drink now and then, he fancies himself as a man of culture, but
What's the hurry? Don't get too close, or he'll see you.
Quit following me.
Try not to let him
I understand. Let's walk and talk.
What's the hurry? Don't get too close, or he'll see you. Try not to let him
I understand. Let's walk and talk. So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
the truth is, an old friend of mine, who likes to have a drink now and then, he fancies himself as a man of culture, but doesn't care for needless extravagance. So I thought I might buy him a set of
What are you waiting for? We won't hear anything at this rate.
How...
Try not to let him see.
I understand. Let's walk and talk. So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
The truth is, an old friend of mine, who likes to have a drink now and then, he fancies himself as a man of culture, but doesn't care for needless extravagance. So I thought I might buy him a set of high-quality fakes.
How very thoughtful of you. Leave it to me, then. Come and collect it at Shigu Antiques whenever is convenient.
Thank you very much, Miss Linlong.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Juri. These days, it's quite rare for someone of your standing to still keep up with their old friends. It's nice to see. I'll be sure to pick out a good set for you. You can count on me. Juri seems to get along really well with everyone. Are you satisfied now, Yelan? Seems like everyone thinks Juri's a great guy.
We shouldn't jump to conclusions just yet.
Wait, you're not just trying to dig up some dirt on Juri because he...
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. But hey, if I do become Tianshu, I'll look out for you guys. You'll be able to try all the finest food for free.
We will? Well, come...
The wind rises. Behold!
The wharf is as big. I hear the anglers here sometimes sell their fish to the nearby fishmongers. Let's see what Uncle Soon has to say.
too slow.
Welcome. What would you like to buy today?
Sorry to interrupt. We're actually members of the, Liyue Anglers Association. We've heard about this young man called Zhi, who's supposed to be a fantastic fisherman.
Whoa! Yelan made up a whole fake identity.
Ah, yes, Zhi. He's been making quite a name for himself recently. I've got some friends who travel all over the place, and they tell me everywhere they go they meet someone who's heard of him. Apparently, he had a rather tough time growing up. Had to work several jobs alongside his studies to make ends meet. How does that saying go? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, if there's anything to that logic, he's sure to be phenomenally...
Yeah, we think...
But I'm afraid your Anglers Association might be in for a disappointment.
Oh? Why is...
He's good at a lot of things, but fishing isn't one of them. He fishes at the wharf and sells what he catches to me on occasion. His catches are always mediocre. Not terrible, but equally nothing to write home about. If you're looking to recruit some new members, though, I do know a few top anglers I could put you in touch with.
That sounds fantastic. I've got a couple of other things to attend to right now, though, so... Why don't I come back some other time and we can chat over a drink?
Sure thing. See you.
Everywhere they go, they meet someone who's heard of him. Come on, let's keep asking around.
Search for it.
Here to buy some fish? It's 300 for one or 3 for 1,000. You better hurry. When they're gone, they're...
Hello, we're from the Society for Fish Price Research. We'd just like to ask a few questions.
Wow!
Society for Fish
Please, don't worry. We're just here to conduct a simple survey. We've heard about a certain Zhi who's been selling fresh fish at low prices in this area recently.
So this isn't about me. You should have said something, you know. I know the guy. I can tell you what I know. I haven't heard anything about him selling fresh fish at low prices, but it wouldn't...
Oh? What?
Because he's so poor. His parents died when he was very young, and his alcoholic father still owed a huge amount of debt. No one wanted anything to do with him. He was still a kid when he first came to the wharf. His clothes were ragged, and he had a bandage wrapped around his head, and he managed to survive, thanks to Uncle Tien, who gave him... I mean, he can afford to eat and everything, but you'll often see him haggling with others over just a few mora. So, it's not like he catches much anyway, so it's not going to affect my business. Don't tell him I said that.
You'd rather he didn't know?
Well, I spoke to him once, briefly, and I just had a feeling that he really cares what other people think of him. I think he has pretty low self-esteem, but hey, it's hardly my place to say anything. What he's achieved already puts most people to shame. And nobody's perfect. I just wouldn't want to upset him, that's all.
I see. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Not a problem. And just for the record, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the price of my fish.
The more times you say it, the less convincing it becomes.
Doesn't have...
Hey, it's you guys! Wait, what's the phrase? Oh yeah, honored to meet you. What brings you to me?
The truth is, we are but newcomers to this territory. We heard tell of a great martial artist, Master Dugu.
Really?
But of course, we also heard that Master Dugu is a kind and virtuous swordsman who...
Great! So what do you wish to know? Nothing happens on this street that I don't know about.
Now she's lying to a kid.
So, Master Dugu, have you heard of one by the name of Zhi?
Sure have. You mean that guy that all the grown-ups are talking about these days? I've heard many tales of Zhi, probably because it's nothing that important. I prefer stories about sword-fighting heroes!
Oh, I can completely understand that. Then let me ask you this. Do you remember roughly when the grown-ups started talking about Zhi?
Oh yeah, I know that! It was about 2 or 3 months ago. Before that, people always used to talk about Jury in a kind of nasty tone of voice. But 2 or 3 months ago, suddenly everyone started to like him. Sometimes he gives me candies, so I'm glad that people are starting to like him now.
Just as I
Huh?
I mean, just as I thought, Master Dugu is indeed as kind and virtuous as the legends claim.
I'm not that great. Oh yeah, one other thing. These days, there's a lot of people I've never seen before talking about Jury stories in the street. They seem like nice people.
Oh,
Great! So next time I see them, I'll say hi. And
certainly. You can also tell my friend in Yenshang Tea House about what they're up to. I'm sure my friend would also like to say hi to them.
thank you, Miss.
You're welcome.
Until we meet again.
Any of that sound strange to you?
Strange? Ji seems to have a great reputation.
True. But the issue is, where did his sudden celebrity come from? It almost seems too good to be true.
Sudden?
So he returns cruelty with kindness, and had to work to support his studies. Do you remember what Dugu Shuo said about Jur-E's stories? Clearly they left him with a good impression of the guy. But plus, there's the fact that all this praise of Jur-E has only been happening within the last 2 or 3 months. His childhood, his studies, the thing with his neighbor. None of these are recent events. So why are these stories only going around now?
When you put it like...
Of course, if that's all there was, Jur-E was born into a poor family. The problem is, do you remember what Uncle Gao said about him? He's stayed poor his whole life. Everything he's earned he's either spent on studying, traveling, or paying off debts. I don't think he has the mora to pay for a publicity campaign. Right. And that's the worst case.
Someone's trying to... Even if we ask Ji...
First, we need to find out who... Remember the current affairs and planning stage of the assessment? Whoever is secretly helping Jur-E must be seeking to benefit from his actions after... Come on, let's get back...
Swollen Fury! Behold!
Jur-E's manifesto covers a huge range of topics. I'll divide the reports into officially, the assessment is already over, and I'll be expecting... Whatever else, Uncle... Any evidence... Made any discovery?
Not so far. Well... Oh, this...
Looks like I'm the first one back, as usual.
Oh, hey! It's one of Yelan's little helpers! If you're back...
You betcha. I visited all the commerce guilds and gathered a wealth of information. Every time they asked me to leave, but I always had another trick up my sleeve.
Don't drag this out.
Yes, Lady Yelan. To summarize my findings, most people who've had interactions with Qianwei will start out complaining about how proud and arrogant he is, but then go on to give a generally positive appraisal of him. The young master of the Feiyun Commerce Guild said that Qianwei appears arrogant, but he's very scrupulous in the way he works. Once he signs a contract with somebody, he treats them fairly regardless of their background.
Who'd have thought?
Is it possible that his reputation is fake? Is there any way you can check the accounts of the businesses under his name?
In theory, that should be very difficult. But here's the thing. I asked around and found out that almost all of Qianwei's accounts are open to the public. Where he buys from and sells to should be confidential business information, but he doesn't seem interested in protecting it at all. Chen often sees business opportunities. It's like he wants people to know that they still can't beat him, even if he shares all of his secrets.
What a strange guy. It's like he's not doing business to make Mora.
To validate his theories. No wonder his manifesto contains so many insights. It's all the result of his first-hand experiment.
I'm back! Huh?
Why do you think? Obviously, because I possess superior...
You... Lady Yelan, I have finished
Well, we're...
The Ministry of Civil Affairs says that Mingbois struggles to get his words out when he gets nervous, especially when he's chatting with strangers. But after a few days of getting to know him, you can pretty much have a normal conversation with him. On the whole, the feedback from the Ministry of Civil Affairs was very positive. He always considers the things that everyone else overlooks.
In your opinion, was the Ministry of Civil Affairs' appraisal of Mingbois at all exaggerated?
I don't believe so. Mingbois is someone who has slowly but surely earned the reputation he has. According to Miss Yu, the Ministry often gets Mingbois to take a final look at projects before they're implemented. People feel much more confident in something if it has his stamp of approval. Oh, and also, there was once someone in the Ministry who was lying and cheating to try to advance their career. Mingbois gave them the scolding of a lifetime. Apparently, he can be terrifying when he loses his temper. I haven't seen it for myself, though.
Whoa.
Like I said before, things are not always as they appear.
Ah! So that...
Thank you both. You're free to go now. So, have you finished? I can't the only one that strikes me as a little unusual is the Qiangshu pool has always been home at some point, a long time ago.
So, did they find...
None. The technology wasn't Zhiyi's manifesto. Still, this one fact alone doesn't tell us much.
Excavation? Project? Treasure? Did we read it? Oh, yeah!
Did he now?
Does that mean the black...
No. They do possess some... Still.
Shenwei and Mingbois both turned out to be complete... What about Zhiyi? Is there another side to him, too?
Squall Fury!
This is the Black Cliff Forge. Let's look around for clues.
What's...
From the back, it looks like a ledger. But we don't know who wrote it.
You think there's this...
Yes. Look, at this rate, by the time that'll give them the chance to... Imagine if we didn't suspect anything. But no red flags if all they did was change some key staff. That's the advantage of...
When you put it like that, so... Who's really...
That's a question for the newcomers. But let's start with that worker over there for now.
I have high hopes for this.
Excuse us.
I gotta say, my only complaint is that they're always going out drinking at night. I guess they just need some...
They go out...
You got that right. It rained after work today. Hey, you're only young...
Interesting. Let's go talk Looks like our hunch was up drinking in Liyue. Good thing it rained today. It means they'll leave footprint.
They went that way! Hurry, we gotta catch up!
Too slow.
These footprints are heading towards Liyue Harbor. Maybe we were wrong about them.
Just as I thought. They didn't go to Liyue Harbor. They went that way.
Behold!
The footprints stop, but, judging from the direction, I'm guessing their destination...
Quit following me.
Looks like we were too late. This has gotta be where the newcomers rendezvous with whoever they're working for. Look at these ashes.
Could there be anything left? Maybe the wind.
The odds of that are very slim. It's
Why don't we wait for them back at the Black Cliff?
We can't count on that. Clear to me, that's a...
Darn!
Make no mistake, I smelled something Those newcomers probably thought they'd be safe as long as they burned the letters. But what they failed to consider is that paper and ink from different regions produce different odors when they're burned.
Really?
There is a certain place with a freezing cold climate where there's nothing but ice as far as the... Some wealthy people there put floral fragrance in their ink as a way of injecting a little romance into their writing. When that fragrant ink is burned, this is the exact odor that it leaves behind. Exactly. The evidence will soon be blown away by the wind, so it's nothing, but it's all I need.
Lady Yelan! Oh, thank goodness I finally found you. I thought I'd never see you again.
Don't be alarmed. This is Upei. He's Wenyuan and Shanghua's colleague. I sent him to look into Zhiyi's regular contacts. Since Zhiyi likes fishing, Upei thought he might know some of the fishermen and sailors, so he took a boat out to sea to ask around. I left him a note at Yanshang. So, what did you find out at sea?
Forgive my incompetence. I'm afraid I've come up empty-handed. I asked all the fishermen multiple times, but none of them had any interactions with Zhiyi before. Then the waves got so choppy I ended up falling overboard. Fortunately, when I got back, I heard that you'd gone to Black Cliff Forge and might need backup, so I went straight there as fast as I could. Didn't even stop to change my clothes.
Well, Uncle Tian said that Zhiyi once bought a recipe from one of the fishermen. Did you hear?
What? No, that's not possible. It's absolutely not possible. Lady Yelan, I'm telling you, I spoke to every single fisherman out there, and none of them mentioned anything about a recipe.
Interesting. Then I wonder how that even more wonderful fish soup came about.
Fish soup?
Nothing. Our priority... Well, any suggestions? Not a bad idea. Upei, what do you...
Honestly, I've already tried following Zhiyi, but the guy's too cautious. Never meets with anyone suspicious.
Okay, so...
No, we'll still need to tail him. But...
Groundwork?
When you've worked in intelligence for a long time, you'll Tomorrow morning I'll announce, be sure to arrive on time.
Squall and Fury!
It looks like we're all here. I won't drone on about the importance of the Tianshu role. Suffice to say that Uncle Tian entrusted me with the monumentally important task of assessing the candidates.
All of us here know the score. Don't beat around the bush, just get on with it.
Qianwei has many pioneering ideas, but some of his plans are lacking in detail, and he easily gets into testy exchanges with other. Mingguo is reliable, but not quite ambitious enough, and because of his personality, he struggles to win people over. In contrast, Zhi is evenly balanced across the board and enjoys an excellent reputation in Liyue. After much consideration, I have decided to recommend Zhi to the Liyue Qixing.
What?
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Honestly, in my estimation, all three of us are worthy candidates for the Tianshu position. Would either of you entertain the possibility of working with me in the future and taking on some of my workload?
I'll have to see. I'm in a bad mood. This is the last thing I want to be thinking about right now.
I don't mind, as long as I can help.
Okay, well, that's all from me. Zhi, you'll have some prep.
I will live up to the Tian. I should go. I need to pack my things, and then I think a celebratory meal is in order. Would anyone like to join me?
Count me out. I'm not a...
Zhi seems pretty relaxed now.
Hey, traveler, tell me something. What exactly does that guy have that I don't? If you can't answer that, I'm not accepting this result.
I, also wouldn't mind knowing.
Oh no, if we get stuck.
Follow him.
Yes, ma'am.
We finally.
Lady Yelan, Zhi has gone towards Feiyun Slope.
Follow him, quickly.
So Zhi really sided with the Fatui?
Upon the gale.
But Uncle Tian thinks so highly of him. Why would he do this?
Difficult to say, but everything should become a lot clearer when we find him.
I'm sorry, lady. He's too good at this. We weren't able to keep following him without...
How the heck did he manage to shake? I guess Zhi didn't let us guard.
No, Upe says he's much more relaxed than usual. Maybe it's just how he's wired.
What?
Don't blame yourselves. If I'd asked you to tail Uncle Tian, you'd have ended up at a dead end too. It's fine. So, where did you lose him?
Xinyue kiosk. He only went in briefly. Upe, a few moments later, I figured that if we spooked him, it would... So I stopped Upe, and I stayed here to...
Good work. The fish didn't take the... Let's go to Xinyue Ki...
Too slow.
Could you explain to me how that works? A guy like him comes in, changes his whole outfit right under your nose, and you don't even ask him about it?
Our customers are free to dress however they please. What grounds would I have to question him?
Okay, fair enough, but didn't you think it was just a little bit...
Well, maybe I did, but it still doesn't give me the right to stop him.
Enough. Let's tone this down a little. I'll make this quick. Just one question. What did he buy while he...
Oh, he didn't buy anything. He just picked up a bottle of liquor that he ordered ages ago.
A bottle of liquor?
Yes, a very strong kind. Fiery, with a rich flavor. Not something the average customer would order. This gentleman ordered it in person from us a long time ago. He was only here today to...
Liquor?
Where to?
Shigu and...
Upon the gale.
Hey, Miss Linlong. Sorry to bother you. Zhi ordered a wanware set from you not long ago, right? We're friends of his. He's been telling us how impressed he is with the quality, considering how affordable it was. So
Sure. Which
we don't really know a whole lot about wineware. Let's just go with Zhi's choice.
Jur-E picked up his set not long ago. As a quality imitation of an antique wineware set, it has the look and feel of a luxury item. Just so you're aware, we don't have many of this model left in stock.
Don't worry, price shouldn't be an issue. I'm sure.
For this set,
Okay.
well, don't take too...
This is turning into a real.
I just like to point.
It's not like you.
My specialty is
I.
Yelan? Oh,
If so,
what do you mean?
first of all, if he was just looking to. No. Whoever this person is clearly enjoyed. Now, where might we find
Fatui officials. Should be either the Snezhnayan Embassy or the Northland Bank.
have both located?
Lady Yelan, is it time for us to make.
Get with the program, would you? This is a covert surveillance, in which case.
Great idea!
But Lady Yelan.
I'm well aware. Stick to your orders.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't worry, Lady Yelan.
I'll be waiting for you at the If I'm guessing correctly, Fatui.
The wind rises. Search for it.
Perfect timing. Wenyuan just sent word that the Fatui ambassador, Yusupov, just left the embassy alone. He's heading in the direction of
Qingshu Pool? That's the place Jerry mentioned in his manifesto.
It looks like that's where they've. Qingshu Pool is always crawling with monster.
Oh no.
Let's go. This is Qingshu Pool, full of ruins, crawling with monsters. Anyone with any sense steers well clear of this place. I've looked into the place before. There's a worker's entrance somewhere around here. Follow me.
Another test subject. The wrong test subject.
Too slow.
The hunter becomes the hunted.
Behold!
Speed of light. Incoming.
Squall and Fury.
rises.
There's been some work done on this place in the past, but it's a bit of a labyrinth inside. Like the workers left an emergency still.
Don't worry, by the way,
They have other things to
The threads of your fate lie in my hands.
busted. Gutsy.
Everyone hold in. Strike a pose. By royal decree. Hey.
Quietly now. Busted, as I expected. But this shouldn't be too much trouble.
I see that? That's gotta be the Fatui ambassador. That must be the emergency exit. I see everything.
Oh, brilliant! Wings of darkness. Come, sever night from day.
No! Game's up. Fun's over. Take it easy. Gotcha. Take it easy. Gutsy. Quietly now. Things are about to get dicey. Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. The water's flowed into the groove, and now the statues have lit up. Okay, now we should be able to move the statues. Take it easy.
The door is open. Let's go.
We should be nearly at the bottom now. Let's wrap this up. Gotcha.
Don't blink!
The Temple of Wisdom.
Speed of light! Hey! Nowhere to hide.
Quietly now. Here comes the catch. Take it easy.
I can tell from the aroma that this is very come on, bottoms up. After you, of course.
Oh, sorry. That went down the wrong way. I've never drunk anything this strong before.
You'll get there. If you want to stay friends with us, you have to drink with me. You're more of a lightweight than I thought. Already struggling after one glass. I thought you were made of sterner stuff. You certainly kept it together when you were... Come on, another round.
Sure. You didn't leave me much of a choice, though, did you? Just the mention of poisoning sends shivers down my spine. I'm more timid than you realize. Every time I poisoned him, I had to hide away at home for a few days because I was so scared of getting caught.
Look, I know it has not been easy for you, my friend. But I have to say, you really are quite a genius at... I mean, the poison we brought from Snezhnaya is as strong as this wine, but you found a way to turn it into an imperceptible, slow-acting... what was it you said? Oh, yeah. You said the soup's fishy flavor neutralized...
It struck me one day when I was fishing. I'm lucky it did. Otherwise, I'm not sure I would have been able to fool Uncle Tien.
You have performed excellently. The Fatui will continue to provide the support you need to consolidate your position as Tien Shu. Of course, this is as long as you can... Aside from Qing Shu Pool, we also have some other requests for you, which we will inform you of...
Don't worry.
Did you hear that? It was poison. What a nasty guy.
Hold on. Did you bring a camera? If not, you can use mine. This is quite a scene. We have to...
Excellent. We've, seen no progress on the dip, but soon, everything will be... I remember when I first saw you. I knew right away that you would make a good partner for us. Hey.
How could I forget? The only way is for...
Yes. Just look at your two competitors. Chen Wei had wealth. Ming Boa had reputation. And that's why I decided to help you. You know, there's an old saying in the Fatui. Give a starving dog a bone, and it'll guard...
Yes.
Heck.
Uncle Gao said that Jur-E has low self-esteem. He was worried that whatever advantage he might have now Do you have any more film in the camera? Then get ready to use it. How well this goes for us.
Ooh, is there any more alcohol? Go on. Fill me up.
There's only a little left. Here, I'll fill your glass. If you like it, I can bring...
Whoa, this is... Huh? Yi, you poisoned my wine?
You seem surprised, Mr. Yusuppa. How could I not? I've sacrificed years of my life studying and reflecting to prepare myself for this position. And in the end, I even had to poison my own teacher. You really think I'd put myself through all that just to become your little puppet? I don't want to bow down to anyone ever again. And that includes you.
You imbecile. It's the Fatui who got you to where you are. Do you understand? If I disappear with no explanation, the embassy will come after you. They'll get to the bottom of this. Mark my word.
Do you see the haystack in the corner? Underneath it is a pile of explosives. And next door in the dark room are the 3 undercover agents you sent to infiltrate the Black Cliff Fort. I'm gonna stay here till I see you slip into unconsciousness. Then I'm gonna set this on fire. Once the flames burn through the hay, they'll ignite the explosion.
What?
I took the liberty of leaving some evidence of your contact with the undercover agents at the Black Cliff Forge. It won't take long for people to... The Fatui planted undercover agents in the Black Cliff... But things didn't quite go to plan. Faced with the overwhelming... It explains why you acted alone, while exonerating the rest of the Of course, none of that will have anything to do with me.
Yi, do you really think you're gonna get away with this? The Fatui has a record of everything. That includes the poison, all interactions between us. After I die...
A record? Oh, you must mean the one in the hands of your second-in-command, Theophan.
How?
Because when you contacted me, I also made contact with your associates. I have Theophan to thank for providing me with the poison I used on you. He'll help me tie up all the loose ends. He has been eyeing your position for a long... Sweet dreams.
I did a little surveying on the way here and found that you'd left yourself 3 escape routes in case things went... I have them all surrounded. If you're thinking of trying anything, save yourself the effort. We were here the whole time and have pictures of everything.
The game's up? Forgive me, I'm not quite sure what you're referring to, Miss Yelan. I happened to discover a Fatui operation here, so I approached them on the pretext of joining forces and eventually brought them down from within. If it pleases you, Miss Yelan, I'd be only too happy to have you join.
This is how you want to play it. Fine. You do you. All we need to do to convict you is establish that the poison in his system is the same. Nothing else.
One wrong move and it all comes crashing down. I should have been more careful. You followed him here, didn't you? I was so focused on keeping myself out of sight, I forgot he was a potential liability. Let's talk about this, Yelan. I gave you my word that I would live up to the Tianshu name, and that much? When I take office, I can guarantee that I will act in your best interests. In fact, all of you here tonight can expect very generous treatment in the future. I don't deny that I used underhanded methods to get here. But given my lowly origins, what other choice did I have?
You still don't get it, do you? Even now. What do you think? Exactly. Jur-E, clever people can always come up with a good excuse. There's nothing wrong with wanting to win other people's respect, but when has Uncle Tien ever looked down on you? He was like a teacher and a father to you, but you chose...
That's enough.
Of course. What makes this even crueler is that you managed to convince yourself there was no other way. Out of everyone in the world, he is the one who trusts you the most.
That's enough!
Life is like fishing. It cannot be rushed. Whatever you do, impatience will accomplish nothing. I was just like you once, desperate to prove myself. Only later did I realize things do not always turn out the way you plan. But you have to keep calm to carry on. You're still young. Be patient, believe in yourself, and don't look outside yourself to prove your value. Where's Jury these days? It's been a long time since he last paid me a visit.
Maybe he's just busy.
Well, next time, if he doesn't bring a pot of piping hot fish soup, don't let him in.
Whatever you were thinking about, you'll have plenty of time to mull it over in prison. Oh, I almost forgot. If the Fatui find out what happened today, prison might not turn out to be the safest place for you. Trying to have friends on both sides, it has a way of turning everyone against you. But right now, I have an opportunity for you.
Huh?
Sorry, things are about to get extremely busy for me. I'll have someone remove the explosives. Then,
Need our help with that?
no, it could be dangerous. You should leave this, don't worry. As long get some rest.
There is now no poison left in his system, but recovery from the damage already done will not happen over—
Dr. Baishu, is my father—
You needn't worry too much. Keep taking the prescribed medicine every day, and a full recovery will take at most 2 to 3 years. It's good we caught it in time. A few days later, and the toxin would have built up in the internal organs. At that point, things would have been much more serious.
How did they successfully secure such a seldom seen poison? It seems the Fatui are extreme. Unfortunately for them.
Uncle Tian will be heading off now.
Don't worry, I will. Thank you very much. Ah, you're here too? Thank you for... Yes, the exhaustions.
Luckily, it looks like choosing the Tianshu's successor is suddenly not such a...
Hey, Yelan!
My work is mostly wrapped up, so the assessment process comes to an end.
You have my gratitude. People can change.
Is it just Paimon, or is...
Don't underestimate Uncle T. Normally, the Yuehai Pavilion would be responsible for assessing the candidates. Isn't that right, Uncle Tian?
Yes, to be quite honest, when I concluded that in the end, even he changed. I never had any. I had no reputation to speak of when I first became Tianshu. I relied on Ganyu's assistance for all men.
I have to admit, he's a smart guy, and very cautious. The intel suggests that the Fatui saw him as very low risk, but Jur-E was still extremely careful with the poison. He chose that specific liquor from Xinyue Kiosk because the fiery flavor would mask the bitterness of the poison. He also installed a secret compartment in the wine pot he bought to hold the poison. As the amount of liquor went down, he'd shake the pot to release the poison from the compartment into the liquor. Afterwards, we also found he had an antidote on him. Had the Fatui official grown suspicious, Jur-E would have drunk the poisoned wine himself, and then found an opportunity to take the antidote shortly afterward.
But that's still real...
Yes. Had he drunk the poisonous wine, he still would have faced serious health consequences despite taking the antidote. He didn't hesitate.
How is Jur...
Well, I mean, he's sitting in a jail cell. Still, he's cooperating. He didn't turn down my offer to strike a deal. I'll make sure there are plenty of guards around to keep him safe from anything the Fatui might be planning.
A deal?
Yes, Jur-E's not the one I'm interested in. If he was as far as this went, I'd have handed the case off to my subordinates as soon as I realized. But once the Fatui became involved, things got a whole lot more interesting. I thought I might have the chance to catch a big fish.
Well,
Almost.
Uncle Tian? Yelan? What are you talking about? Paimon?
Jur-E with Yusupov in our hands, and a statement from Jur-E. Also, we'd be able to gain control of Theophan, Yusupov's second-in-command. Pawns like this can be major assets. They open up all sorts of new... What?
So, okay, well...
We got halfway. The first part went off, but when we tried to make...
the Fatui.
I found out from other sources. The Fatui's main forces. It's a pity that Theo...
I have to ask, Yelan. Do you have any desire to take over the position of Tianshu yourself? I remember you showed some interest a few days ago at Yenshang Tea House. In my estimation, you are more than competent.
Oh, that. I was obviously joking. I prefer my current life. There's danger and there's excitement, although it'd still be a behind-the-scenes role. As Tianshu, I wouldn't have the chance to get involved in anything truly clandestine or face any... All right, I'm done here. Time for...
Where are you off to this time?
As you might have guessed. But I'm sure if you keep going, maybe I'll see you the next time danger beckons. Until then, keep your wits about you. A lot of people are watching you for... If you have any more questions... Who's our target this time? looks like the situation has changed again.
Shower me with praise!
What should I try this time?
Tea parties are a must for the...
looks lovely and warm. Things are about to start getting lively again. Everyone hold hands!
The show begins!
Busted.
With sword comes shadow. Don't blink!
I see everything! I'm seeing stars. Hey!
May I present?
Quietly now.
I see everything! Hey! Make yourselves at home!
Time to shine! Ah.
Speed of light. Cut to the chase. Incoming.
Everyone hold hands! The Temple of Wisdom!
You are
not
welcome
here. Speed of light.